procedure before I go to work.
Does that feel like what you do at work?
Oh, 100%. Not. Although,
That's a pretty...
Randomly, I'll stick a needle in somebody's eye.
Does that feel like IVF?
Yeah.
That's about the gauge of the needle. When we forget to switch it.
Man, look how plump that is.
Remember that?
So I'm doing a butcher box brisket. And, I mean, low and slow is the way to smoke the brisket. Pretty excited about tonight. The only problem is, Rachel's the one that's going to be responsible for finishing. I'm putting it on the smoker at 225 for about 6.5 hours. Till the internal temp is 160. And then you just take it off and wrap it in tin foil and put it back in until it's 204.
So in 6 hours, I need to remember.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to set a reminder.
9, 10, 11, 12,
I'll
1,
be
2.
texting you.
Right during nap time.
Like,
Bear, you ready for school, buddy? Are you excited?
I'm gonna be grass foot again.
Grass foot? Oh, probably, huh? Or mulch foot from the playground. Ew.
But I'm not mulch man anymore.
You're not mulch man?
No.
Were you mulch man?
I was mulch man. I did have mulch in my shoes, but now it all tangled out and all
Alexa.
rug.
Oh, thank goodness.
set a timer for 6 hours. Don't screw it up.
Yeah.
That's an expensive piece of meat.
That's not going to be the only chance I have to take a nap today.
Oh, come on, baby.
Here, do it.
That's true.
Oh.
Look how cute you are.
Atlanta.
I probably should have run an iron over your dress.
Right.
Yeah, why?
Luckily, seersucker is forgiving.
And I got these shoes on, my sparkly shoes. They're my favorite shoes.
They look so comfy.
I know. I always wear
Okay.
them.
Do you guys
I
have...
always wear them.
Hey,
They're so
Bear's
cute.
backpack.
This has got to be the first time we're like actually on time to go.
This is great. And you did a brisket.
I watched this.
Yeah.
I watched it.
It does get easy as they get older.
Daddy,
Yeah.
Some mornings. I'm sure there's going to be...
I need ice in here so it can
I'm working
keep
on
cold.
hocking off some extra milk because
I need ice
the
in
babies
here
are
so
waking
it
so
can
frequently
keep
at night.
cold.
Elsie's waking so frequently and eating that
I need ice in here to keep cold.
I could feed a army of babies.
Mom, can you get me ice?
Sure.
I want to keep this cold.
Okay. I think Brad vlogged that he was doing the brisket today. I think so. It is now almost 5 o'clock. The brisket's almost done. I also chopped up some veggies that we got. The vlog. I also chopped up some veggies that we got at the farmer's market. Do you remember that, guys? When we went to the farmer's market? We got zucchini and summer squash. And then some like golden potatoes. So I chopped those up. Those will be consumed with our whatever he put on the grill. Brisket?
What are golden potatoes?
They're just little potatoes that are really yummy. And then these guys are pretending to camp out.
Yeah. Camp out
here. It's a mess. Are you turning the lights off because you're watching a movie on the big screen?
Yeah.
Okay, they're in a precarious position.
Mommy, have you seen
gonna
the
slide
black
this
dog? Are you ready to play my video game?
There's a funny conversation happening on Instagram
Okay.
about how Eloise's birthday is coming up and she really wants a PUPPY. She has maintained that she wants a PUPPY for more than a year, for birthday, Christmas, everything. I cannot imagine adding that to our lives. And Brad is a hard no. He said if we get one, he's moving out. I think it would be good for the kids. I think it would be enjoyable. I think eventually we would all come around and like not be able to imagine our lives without it. I'm not excited about adding that though. So I'm like lukewarm on the idea, I guess you could say. It's not a hard no for me, but it's not like I'm excited about the idea either. So I don't know. If you would have asked me a few months ago, it would have been definitely not. I just wasn't ready. Like I wasn't there yet. I don't know. I'm just not. I wasn't ready. But now I don't feel that anymore. I just feel like it would be too much. But it's funny because like on Instagram, someone was like, I see the look in your eyes. You're definitely going to end up getting a puppy. I agree with Brad, but I don't want to say it in front of the kids. They were like, I agree with Brad, but I can see it in your eyes. You're definitely going to get one. It's like, that's not how our marriage works. Like, we don't do things without being on the same page. If one of us is a yes and the other is neutral, we'll probably lean toward the yes. But if one of us is a hard no and one of us is a definite yes, like that takes some, we have to figure that out. And it's gone both ways in the past with stuff. So, I don't know. That's kind of, our marriage is about assessing who feels more strongly about it, I guess. And actually, a lot of times that's Brad. A lot of times I'll just be like, yeah, you do whatever you need to do. Like with finances, I defer to him almost 100% of the time. With any type of like investment or financial decision, I know he researches that stuff and knows more about it and has like a better idea of what like return on investment looks like for certain purchases and things like that. And
Mommy, I got my suitcase all loaded. It wasn't even hard. I just had to put my big blanket in there.
cool.
And my other little blanket.
Nice.
Did you know I could do that?
I didn't. And it all fits?
Yeah, it all fits.
Oh my gosh. He has like an idea of,
Why don't you think it fits?
oh, I don't know. That's just a lot of stuff to go in a little bag. Oh, it's your suitcase, not your backpack. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, should have cut this clip off a minute ago. It's almost exactly 1 year ago.
Really?
I think it was, yeah, I was like newly pregnant.
So if you're new around here, last year I just had this horrible case of chiggers where the entire back of my thigh was just all like on fire basically, and just a bunch of bumps that were like super itchy.
You're very dramatic.
And now, so we were out at our lot the other day with our new builder, and I think that's where I got all these
You didn't get
bites.
chiggers again?
I don't know. They're not as bumpy.
Yeah,
As
there
they
were
were
a
last
ton of bumps last time.
Yeah, see, like
These are more, I
they're,
guess,
like smaller. See those?
yeah, I guess the oak mites are really bad this year.
See, look, all those.
Uh-huh, I do. Remember we put fingernail polish over it and that was like a total myth?
Yeah.
Sally, baby.
It was worth a shot.
Sally, baby.
Finish that one off.
It's empty.
When was the last, you're hilarious. When was the last time your upper thighs have seen the light of day? Oopsie.
Are you making any progress out here? You playing with my golf club? No. Be careful with that, okay?
Why? Hey!
Today might be one of my best days, one of my favorite days ever. Well, I have a lot of favorite days, but today, not only did we get a HelloFresh shipment, we also got a Butcher Box shipment, and I also got my Blackstone griddle in from, I think I just got it on Amazon. Pretty excited about the griddle. It's funny, it's like all this stuff is stuff that goes in our RV, and we put it like right next to the front door. It's like the worst possible place to put all this stuff that needs to go in the RV, because everybody who walks in sees it. But yeah, what a great day. I mean, tons of food delivered. Oh yeah, in addition to that, I'm also smoking a beautiful, just a gorgeous brisket on the smoker. And so that should be done. Hopefully that'll be done around 6 p.m., right in time. You're supposed to let it rest for an entire hour before you cut it. I don't know. So, I don't know, we'll see.
See what temperature it's at?
Right.
It might be done.
Maybe. Alright, so at 2:04, she'll be done. So we're really darn close. I think I'm gonna call it. It's 5:30, so if we take it out, that way we can let it sit for an entire hour and we can eat at 6:30. Perfect. That is a really good looking brisket. You tried it.
I did.
And?
It's way up high on my list of meats I've tasted.
Hey-o! Have we talked about going to Disney? Uh-oh. I hear a baby. Have we talked about going to Disney on the vlog?
I can't remember. Do I have chocolate on my face?
No.
And Mother's job is never done.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
It's been a rough evening.
Ugh, that reminds me. I had a patient today who was crying.
Oh no.
Ugh, it was horrible. His daughter passed away Monday.
You're kidding.
It's like, why are you coming to an eye exam? Ugh.
Oh.
She was 57 or 59, but she had cancer not cancer. She had Crohn's disease for like 35 years or something.
Oh my gosh.
And finally, I don't know what the complication was, but it was horrible. But I digress. We are planning our RV trip. Okay, we are planning our trip to Disney. Rachel's always said, probably since the kids were like 1 year old, that on their 5th birthday, we're going to go to Disney.
Before they were born.
Before they were born. So the twins are turning 5 in January, so we're headed to Disney. We kind of went back and forth. It's a cheap flight. How much was the flight? Like $59?
If you leave tomorrow,
Yeah.
you can get round trip flights for like $48.
From St. Louis to Orlando, there is a direct flight, cheap, on Spirit Airlines. I'm going to change the battery. So Rachel was just saying it's actually like $150 for a flight, the dates that we want to go, because it's pretty close to Christmas time.
So $750.
So yeah, still not terribly expensive. It wouldn't be the expensive part of the trip, going to Disney. Being at Disney, because we kind of want to stay on campus or whatever you call it. And so that would be really expensive.
We've kind of bounced around from, in true Brad Rach fashion, I'd like to say we've considered all angles. We've considered like fully on the resort, stay there for the entire 7 days. We're bringing, we were going to bring our nanny Carrie with us as just an extra set of hands, but she would actually be watching the babies while we were in the parks with the bigger kids. It's more of a trip for Berend Lyndle, and of course Eloise would be old enough to come along too. The babies, less than a year old, probably not going to enjoy the park very much.
More of a hindrance than an enjoyment.
I think they would take away from Berend Lyndle's enjoyment
100%
of it. So have Carrie there to stay back with them. And then we talked about doing a Disney cruise, kind of the same thing, like a 5-day Disney cruise. You want to come over here? 5-day-ish Disney cruise, and
look at all that chocolate.
I know, the chocolate melted and so chunks of it were falling out. If you don't put mini chocolate chips in your popcorn, you haven't lived.
I don't like it.
I love it. So that was still, like, I still would like to do that someday. It's just funny that like our family cannot go on a cruise alone. Like we can't all fit into one room. I guess we could go on a cruise and you could be in one room and I could be in one room. But decided not to do that. And then we talked to some friends that were like, you don't need an entire week at Disney. Like do a day at Disney and then do the beach or something else for the rest of the trip.
Right, and I couldn't agree more.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that are like, you need at least a day per park. And there's 4 parks.
So we're going to do 2 days though. So we're going to do 2 parks. We're going to do the Animal Kingdom and
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. And I think for their age and having never done it before, like we'll leave something to come back and see.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't have to do it all.
Exactly.
I want it to be like an enjoyable thing, not like let's run from place to place so we see everything.
And it'll be a lot cheaper.
Right.
And you can't tell I'm worried about the expense. I mean, we're building a house, so I'm trying to, and we just bought an RV, so I'm trying to be practical here.
A Disney trip for a family our size is easily over $10,000.
Right, exactly.
So
we're going to do it the cheaper way. We're going to take our RV.
And I was totally dead set against this because it's a 17.5-hour drive.
17 hours.
If you drive straight through. Which we will not.
Would be no big deal for me because I'll just be driving, but Rachel will be back with the kids. And they'll be strapped in car seats forever. So we've decided to go ahead and just take a couple of weeks, 2 weeks off work and take the RV and not plan our trip, like our route. So in true Brad Rach fashion,
That sounds really stupid, especially with like places being booked up.
oh yeah, oh no. So we don't have to worry about that because, I mean, we'll just find some place that has a spot.
Okay, we know roughly the route-ish, but he made a good point. He was like, well, if it'll just make our trip more fun, not having to be at a certain spot by a certain day. So like if we're having a lot of fun where we are, we can just stay there. If we're not having fun at all, we can pick up and move on. If we're tired of being in the heat, we can head north into the mountains.
Yeah.
We just have 2 weeks.
I don't think we have to worry about heat in January.
Yeah, not probably where we are.
No. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We'll probably though have to make reservations like right now at the RV park at Disney if we want to stay on.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Whatever.
At the wildlife or what is it called?
Wilderness?
Wilderness.
Camp Wilderness or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be like one thing set in this.
Right, so we have to look to see if they even have any openings. If not, we might just stay off.
I really would like
Property.
to stay there. I guess you can like rent golf carts and cruise around in a golf cart. And
And they have like the boat that can pick you up and stuff.
Camp Wilderness.
Yeah, so we'll have to look at that. So that's our plan. So we'll take any tips or tricks or hacks that you have.
Fort Wilderness.
Fort Wilderness. Yeah, if you stayed at Fort Wilderness, let us know. Anything else to add right now?
Speaking of camping, have you guys heard of the adult camp? Is it in Wisconsin
I think it was Wisconsin.
or Michigan?
I think it was Wisconsin.
There's a camp, an adult camp that you can go to, but it's like you stay in bunks. There's the blob in the water where you go flying off of it. You have arts and crafts, and then you have beer tastings and whiskey tastings and beer pong.
It would be a lot of fun.
That would be so fun.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the funnest thing I could think of.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Disney World with my kids sounds like the funnest thing I could think of. And then a close second, adult camping.
Mm-hmm. Without kids.
Without kids.
And with beer.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, obviously a ton more to come on this trip that we're planning but not planning.